My subscribers, my dear soon-to-be subscribers, welcome to my Jurassic Park and Jurassic World Strength and Power tier list. In this video, I'm going to be ranking the major dinosaurs and creatures of the Jurassic Park and World franchise in terms of how strong I think they are. Each tier will house creatures of roughly the same strength, with the ones on the left being more likely to come out on top in a battle of dominance. All the way at the bottom of the food chain in the tiny tier are the Locusts from Jurassic World Dominion. As a swarm, they're actually the most dangerous of all the creatures on the list, as they can cause a global famine, killing millions. But on their own, they aren't much of a threat. One did fly into a barn hard enough to break through the wooden wall, but it was captured by children. And a locust was caught by Alan Grant barehanded. Compsognathus similarly aren't much of a threat by themselves, but in large groups can even take down adult men. I put them one spot higher because they've been shown to actually damage people with their bites. The locust might be able to win by flying into one really fast, or by picking one up and dropping it from really high up, but I don't think they have the intelligence to do this. Lystrosaurus are bigger than the two below, and one was able to bite the hell out of some guy's hand. Moving up in the food chain, at the bottom of the small tier is the baby Tyrannosaurus Rex from the Lost World. When face to face with a human, it ran, but with some help from Daddy, it was able to kill him. Next is just your average human adult, represented by Dennis Nedry. Adult men have shown they can overpower a single Compsognathus or Locust, and without Daddy there to help, they should be able to overpower the baby T-Rex as well. Dimorphodons are small winged pterosaurs with sharp teeth. They can fly down and deliver devastating bites to their prey. They can be overpowered and damaged by humans, so as long as the human is willing to fight to the death, they have a pretty good chance of winning. But most people are only willing to fight for their next cheeseburger. The baby Velociraptor Beta was able to kill an unsuspecting wolf. Weird how a baby Velociraptor seems to be more deadly than a baby T-Rex. Gallimimus are basically the standard prey dinosaur for larger carnivores, but they make it this high based off their sheer size and speed. I don't see the Gallimimus going down easily to any of the creatures below. Dilophosaurus are predators approaching human size, and can spit venom that first blinds and then paralyzes their victims. They can use this ability to allow them to take down adult humans. The dome-headed herbivores Pachycephalosaurus and Stigmaloch have enough power to knock through humans like bowling pins, break metal doors off their hinges, and even smash through brick walls. Unless the Dilophosaurus gets its venom in its eyes quickly, the domed creature will probably use its 9-inch thick skull to shatter its opponent's bones. Owen Grady's at the top of this tier, and his spot basically represents the pinnacle of man. He was able to fight his way through groups of trained soldiers and grab a Dilophosaurus by the throat. He was also able to dodge the Stigmaloch, so with a well-timed dodge and headlock, he might have a chance to beat one with his bare hands. But even if he can't, he's well trained with weapons and would definitely be in this spot if he had access to them. And he could even be higher up in the tier list depending on the weapon he has. Swooping into the medium tier are Pteranodons. They can reach 7 feet tall with a wingspan of 19 feet, and are strong enough to lift an adult human off the ground. They should be able to pick up and drop most of the foes in the tier below to their deaths, and finish off the rest with their powerful beak. Dimetrodon's likely too big to be picked up by a Pteranodon, and I believe its teeth would give it the advantage in a ground fight. Their lack of mobility and agility is what lands them so low. Parasaurolophus can easily overpower multiple adult men at once, though it can be taken down by a single well-placed gunshot. Tyrannosaurus is of similar size, but their two front legs are better for attack, and they're seemingly more aggressive. These large creatures should be able to crush the competition below. The Smilodon from Camp Cretaceous could arguably get crushed as well, but it has the agility to keep out from under their feet, and the teeth and claws needed to give lethal damage. Monolophosaurus is a predatory dinosaur slightly bigger than the Velociraptor, but they don't seem as fast, skilled, or intelligent. Pyroraptor is also similar in size, but has the ability to swim. Atrociraptors are even closer to Velociraptors and are almost indistinguishable. They can keep up with motorcycles, making them almost impossible to outrun. I put the Velociraptor above these three despite being slightly smaller due to all of the feats they have throughout the Jurassic franchise. They are among the smartest and most deadly dinosaurs, and even capable of facing off against giant predators like the Tyrannosaurus and Indominus Rex. Blue even held her own in a 1v1 against the Indoraptor. Their only weakness? Gymnastics. Climbing up the food chain at the bottom of the large tier is the Baryonyx. Even a juvenile has the ability to kill a human, and when full grown, they're a decent sized predator. Baryonyx hasn't really proven itself in combat, and is one of the smaller dinosaurs in this tier, which is why they're at the bottom. The Ceratosaurus is a bit bigger, built a bit more robustly, and has a horn on its nose, so I put it a spot higher. Carnotaurus is bigger and is shown to be a capable fighter against Sinoceratops and Ankylosaurus. And you know what they say, 2 horns are better than 1. The Sinoceratops did get the last hit in on the Carnotaurus, so I put it and the larger Triceratops a spot higher. An Allosaurus was defeating a Nasutoceratops, and it only backed down when it became a 2-on-1, so I would put it above the similarly sized Sinoceratops. It's also a bit bigger than the Carnotaurus. A good sized Triceratops could very well be above Allosaurus, but they haven't really done anything besides flip cars, and an Allosaurus flipped an RV. Ankylosaurus is one of the most armored dinosaurs, making it even hard for the Indominus Rex to kill. It's been in multiple battles in Camp Cretaceous and has shown superiority to Tyrannosaurus and Carnotaurus. Their hide was even too thick for the Scorpius Rex's venomous needles to penetrate. Stegosaurus is stated to have the strongest attack out of any herbivore in Jurassic Park evolution, and the smaller Kentrosaurus of the same family was able to give a T-Rex a run for its money, so that should solidify it as the top herbivore in this tier. The Indoraptor is a genetically modified hybrid built for military combat. It has bulletproof skin, night vision, and echolocation, and I would argue pound for pound is the most deadly dinosaur in the franchise. Its intelligence is on par with the Velociraptor, and is smart enough to pretend to be asleep and lay traps. Blue did manage to give it some trouble, but the Indoraptor was more focused on the humans, and just wanted Blue out of the way. It did end up getting killed by falling on a Triceratops skull, so if it isn't careful, it can definitely be killed by some of the dinos in this tier. But I think its speed, agility, intelligence, and deadly weapons will allow it to outmaneuver and land fatal blows on the creatures below. Rising their necks up into the huge tier is all of the large sauropods, with the Brachiosaurus being pictured. Their massive bodies can be used to crush almost any foe, and their large size and heads that are out of reach of most make them extremely hard to take down as well. They have the capability of killing any of the creatures in this tier, but their slow speed and passive nature are big disadvantages. It basically comes down to if they'll be able to crush their opponent before they take enough damage to bleed out. The Scorpius Rex is another hybrid similar to the Indoraptor, but a bit bigger. They're similar in size to the carnivores in the tier below, but much deadlier, being able to quickly take out a Ceratosaurus. What makes them truly deadly though are their venomous quills. With these they can take down giants like Brachiosaurus. A Scorpius Rex did have trouble with some Ankylosaurus, but their tough hide countered its venomous quills, and it was up against an entire herd of them. Quetzalcoatlus is suspected to be the largest flying creature of all time, and managed to take down a good-sized airplane. One of these swooping in at full speed could probably gore a sauropod right through the head with its beak, and it could likely do the same to Scorpius Rex. It might even be able to pick up the Scorpius Rex and drop it from up high, though it would risk getting poisoned if it did that. Therazinosaurus has one of the most deadly weapons on the list, with massive claws that can pierce through even the mightiest of dinosaurs. It was able to hold off the Gigantosaurus for a while until the T-Rex came and pushed it into its claws, killing it. Even though it has the weapons to do the job, I don't think it would win a majority over any of the massive carnivores above in a 1v1. The Tyrannosaurus Rex had the most powerful bite force out of any land animal that ever existed, and has used this bite to kill Velociraptors, Carnotaurus, and most dangerous of all, lawyers. It was once thought to be king of the dinosaurs, but it isn't the king of my tier list, as it has actually lost every major battle with a large carnivore it's ever been in. The Spinosaurus is next, due to beating a T-Rex in what was probably one of the most controversial fights of all time. It's probably one of the earliest records of power scaling in fictional debates. Its bite might not be as strong, but it's bigger and can actually use its arms in combat. The T-Rex it fought was smaller than the other adult Rexes in the films, so a fight with one of those would probably be a really close battle that could go either way. Gigantosaurus, on the other hand, completely bullied the biggest T-Rex in the franchise. It was stated to be the biggest land carnivore that ever lived, so it would make sense for it to be the highest out of the 3 natural big-name carnivores. I did say natural. The Indominus Rex is a hybrid made with a T-Rex base, and Velociraptor, Carnotaurus, Scorpius Rex, Therazinosaurus, Gigantosaurus, and more mixed in. It also has modern animals mixed in such as the cuttlefish, which allows it to camouflage itself. It has intelligence on par with the Velociraptor, and was smart enough to plan its own escape. It killed an Ankylosaurus, a Apatosaurus, Brachiosaurus, and multiple Velociraptors attacking it at once. It managed to overpower the biggest T-Rex in the series, even while already injured, and only started losing when Blue joined in. Oh, and did I mention it did all this while not even fully grown? You could argue Gigantosaurus should be above it based off how quickly it killed that T-Rex in the Jurassic World prologue 65 million years ago, but that was a natural T-Rex, and not the slightly modified ones from the films. So it would be far more fair to compare their performance to the exact same T-Rex that they both fought, and the Indominus Rex actually won a bit quicker. Add in the fact the Indominus wasn't even fully grown yet, and I think it's clear the Indominus is the undisputed king of this tier. Jumping out of the water to take the Indominus' spot, as well as its life, is the Mosasaurus. This massive creature eats great whites like goldfish, and the fact that it easily took out the Indominus Rex like it was just a midnight snack makes it the clear apex predator of the franchise. The only caveat is that it can't stray far from the water, so as long as you don't want to see why you aren't at the top of the tier list, stay away from the water. Just like the age of the dinosaurs came to an end, so has this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. It was 65 million years in the making. And I hope you all subscribe to my channel so I can reach my goal of 65 million subscribers. Until the next extinction event. See you guys at the next video.